Hey YouTube, it's Papa Steve on the move. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, if you guys are into hiking, backcountry camping and travel, this is the place to be. We talk every Thursday about gear reviews, hotel reviews, trip reports, and places I've been. This week we'll be talking about micro pumps to blow up air mattresses. I know we've all had that experience, hiking out to a backcountry site and getting that lightheaded feeling from blowing up your air mattress with your mouth. Or maybe you've got an ultralight pad and you pack out that pump sack that came with it, and you're always trying to fill that thing with air and pump it in, and I hate those things. So this week I picked up a couple different products, the Thermarest NeoAir Pump, as well as the FlextailGear Tiny Pump off of a local retailer, an online popular retailer, and I'm going to test them out and see how they work. So hey guys, this week we're talking micro pumps. I picked up two products. Now I use the Thermarest NeoAir pad, and I've demoed that, and if you want to see all the demos of all the pads I tried this summer, I'll leave a link here for you guys. But this week we're talking pumps. So I picked up the Thermarest NeoAir Micro Pump. It's pretty small. It only works on Thermarest pads with a wing lock or a twin lock valve. Inflates and deflates your pad. The pump itself is 2.3 inches by 1.8 inches by 2 inches. It weighs about 2.3 ounces, and it needs two AAA batteries, which are not included. Now, this thing's pretty small, pretty light, and I'm pretty pumped to try it out. So we'll see how it works. It's got an on-off switch here on the side, which I think, looking at other reviews, has caused some problem when it goes in your pack, and that you might be able to turn this on and off by accident inside your backpack. Haven't actually field tested these yet, just opening them up now, but I'm going to test them out here and see how they work. Now the other piece I picked up is the FlextailGear Tiny Pump X. It's a portable ultra mini air pump. It's got a 1300 milliamp battery, so it's USB rechargeable. It's got a Type-C output, so you can charge this thing on your power bank. It's also got a camping light mode. It inflates and deflates your pad and other devices. So it's got 5 different air nozzles. And it's got a charge indicator light, so you can see if it's needs battery charge or not. And it's got a low power indicator, so you can tell when it needs to be charged. Now in the pack it comes with its USB-C cord. And it's got a nifty little pouch to carry it around in. And 5 different attachments. And the pump itself, it's pretty comparable. They're about the same size, about the same weight. The Flextail pump, pretty simple. It looks like what I like that it doesn't offer, that the Thermarest does not, is that it's got a little handle on it, so you could actually hang this thing up in the top of your tent, and it's got a light. So you can use it as a lantern or a tent lantern as well. So pretty nifty, 3 settings, and it's also a pump. So I think we'll test these things out on my 3 pads. I'm going to use the Nemo Astro, the Klymit Ultralight, and my Thermarest NeoAir. So without further ado, let's pull out some pads and start charging these things up. So first up is the Thermarest NeoAir Pump. I will be using it to inflate my Thermarest NeoAir Xlite sleeping pad. This version uses the wing lock valve. The pump requires either this or the twin lock valve in order to work, so older Thermarest pads will not be inflatable with this pump. I have the long, wide sleeping pad, so I expect it may take a little longer to inflate. Now the pump secures nicely to the valve, and it's pretty quiet during operation. You can also use the pump to deflate the pad as well. You can see that after 3 minutes the pad is starting to take shape. Definitely you can let this pump do its thing unattended while you work somewhere else. I tried several different methods to try and use this pump with non-Thermarest pads and just could not make it work. So if you're using another pad, wait to see how the Flextail pump performs. It took over 8 minutes to inflate the sleeping pad, and I found it still wasn't quite firm enough. The pump seemed to lack enough power to fill it. I used the same pump to deflate the pad, and it was a little quicker at about 6.5 minutes. I'm anxious to see how it compares with the FlextailGear pump. Now the FlextailGear pump was a little more complicated to set up as it required an adapter and a modular rubber tip to fit onto the valve. I noticed that the rubber tip was not the greatest because its overall utility also made it a bit of a compromise in quality. I might consider some adhesive between the adapter and the rubber tip. Now you use the same start button for both the pump and the Lite, so it can get a little complicated with the timing. It could take a little babysitting in order to inflate the pad, as the pump blew right off while inflating, so probably not a good idea to leave it unattended. Probably not an issue though, as it blew the pad up completely in under 3 minutes. The pad was a lot firmer too. This FlextailGear pump packs a lot of power, and considering it retails for less than the Thermarest pump, a lot of value too. I tried out the FlextailGear pump next on both my Klymit static Lite pad and my Nemo Astro pad. I was able to use the same adapter rubber tip combo for all 3 pads. I was pretty impressed that it blew up my Klymit pad in under 1 minute and the Nemo pad in just over 1.5 minutes. I was also able to deflate each of the 3 pads in under 2 minutes. So hey guys, it was pretty obvious to me which one of these pumps was better. Now, first of all, this tiny pump was good for all 3 air mattresses. The attachment, I was able to use the same rubber attachment for all 3 air mattresses. It had more power, it blew it up faster, deflated them faster, and I love the fact that it's also a tent lantern and it's rechargeable. Now on the Thermarest NeoAir Pump, it's got the side switch, which I'm not confident about. It's got the AAA batteries, which means I got to pack extra batteries with me if I'm taking this pump. And it worked pretty good for the Thermarest pad, but it didn't work for my other pads at all. So I'll be returning this NeoAir pump. It's not worth carrying it around for me. And I'll be keeping this FlextailGear pump. This seems to be a really nifty thing. I don't mind carrying that a couple extra ounces around with me. It's going to save me a bunch of time in camp. I can blow up my stuff while I go down and get my water. So yeah, great addition. Going to field test it in the spring. Love it. Highly recommend it. That's it for this week, guys. So if you have any questions about either of these things, leave them down in the comments below or reach out on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And that's going to be it for this week. So hope you guys have a happy holiday and look forward to hearing from y'all. Till next week, I'll see you guys on the trail. It's Papa Steve on the move.